And they see something I should have checked. Okay, they actually can't see my little drawings. So let me fix that on this end as well. You can tell I'm extraordinarily prepared.
Oh yeah.
I have a nice display capture. There we go. I have a nice that should be good. Delete that. The capture. I have a nice little overlay, but it is not. Still trying to get used to like the little drawing tool, so I can just do pop, 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 and that goes through 666. All right, so Atari. This is a set we played earlier this week over net play. It was pretty consistent net play. What we got, like 15 ping, 20.
Yeah, it's definitely really close.
You played Roy. I played Mewtwo. We did the whole stage ban and everything. And I just want to go over some of the bits in it that I think were. I want to highlight some things I think you were already doing really well in the matchup, and then I want to kind of highlight some points that I think you just need a little work, and that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, stages. All right. So something I think you're doing good, first off, is the dash dancing. Like the just general horizontal threat range. Because you get a grab mid-stage, and yeah, Roy confirms aren't great, but you get me to the corner like very quickly, very easily.
Yep.
Right. That is a consistent trend among these sets, is that you will get me to the corner relatively easily, and then just kind of like can't keep me there for super long periods of time. Like you can't convert those into meaningful damage or stocks. So that's a kind of minor thing, but I see a lot of fast followers do it. So when someone's knocked down, and especially this instant double jump. So this is YouTube, so I know the buttons for frame rewind. This good old ring.
Yeah.
Once I see that, I don't have to do anything. I just have to wait until you would fall into get up attack.
Yeah.
So,
I definitely could have side B stalled, but I was worried that because like I was thinking at the time, oh crap, Mewtwo's get up attack is like really, really good. And so I was getting ready to bait out the get up attack, and I said, wait, I probably can't just wait it out. And so that's why I like got out.
right. I also think it's like, what's the benefit here is pretty minor as opposed to just like I saw you were playing with Ian, right? And he said something that is very true, very accurate. Just F smash. Like, back up a few seconds. So when you get this down air, so here, you need to be able to cover. You'll be able to cover me if I go this way with my tech roll. So that means you'll need to be able to either like run F smash, and then if I do anything else, you can just down smash, and that's probably going to kill at 111.
Yeah.
So
Down smash will probably.
even not accounting for missed tech in place, tech roll right, just one button kill. Tech roll left, you have to work a little harder. But off of this, basically, when you make that decision to jump, instead of going here, where you have F smash to either direction on reaction, or even down smash on reaction, and then just follow the roll on reaction, you double jump, which I guess like falling up air, maybe falling like non spiked air, it can get you a back air, it can get you like a confirm here, but it's a lot more work, frankly.
Yeah.
And then you have to think about, oh wait, they have get up attack. Mewtwo's get up attack is good. Am I going to stall or what am I going to do? And now you're in that position where you had to kind of take a defensive action instead of, making me afraid of how am I going to get up off the ground at 100. You had to get out of the way of my stuff. And I think in general, it's just like, it's okay to just send it sometimes, right? Like you started doing it early or later in the set, but sometimes if I'm just kind of abusing tilts, so let me get to a position where we're a little further apart. But if I'm start like just fishing with down tilt, and here I guess I'll just use this. So let's say you're here. This is Roy, right? He has a sword.
He has a sword.
What do hilts look like?
Like
there
that,
we go.
yeah.
Yeah. So you have a
He's
sword.
holding onto the blade.
Yep. Yeah. Of course. That's where the fire comes from. It's blood magic, Atari.
Typical Roy player.
As a Roy man, typical Roy player. Just man, why is my sword so bad? It just swings it. See, as a typical Roy player, so if I'm trying to, let's say, trying to push you off stage with F tilt, push you, start a combo with down tilt, it'd be anti-air with like up tilt. All of these are hurt boxes because my tail hurt box. Let me change color. My tail hurt box. This is blue. This is not good for this skin. Normally, it stops right about here. When I'm using my tail, the entire thing is a hurt box up to like here, up to the bulb.
Okay.
So if I'm F tilting, you can hit me right about here. If I'm down tilting, you can hit me like right about here. Up tilt is aerial, which is a different kind of situation, but it becomes a kind of like the risk reward. Again, let's assume same percents. You kind of get pushed off stage if you get clipped by an F tilt. Down tilt at max range, you can probably ASDI down. You can definitely CC it still, but sometimes you just need to make me stop doing this. So just to kind of let me get another color. Sometimes you just need to swing the sword. And sometimes, a lot of the times when you're trying to do that, if your timing isn't exactly in sync with the opponents, you'll get the sour spot, or they'll like, hit your hand here. But sometimes the reward is really good. It's the fresh stock. The risk is variable. Because on Shield, some slippery characters, like earlier in the set already, I got like a wave dash out of Shield under pressure on your sweet spot F smash. But a lot of characters don't have that option. Especially if like it's sweet spot, but like the farther end, like you're not point blank. So if you sweet spot like here, then they get pushed that way, you get pushed this way. And yeah, they can move before you, but it's pressure at best and usually not great pressure at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mewtwo is just like slightly lower traction than Marth, right?
I believe so. He's like bottom 10 for sure. He's on the level of friction or traction is like better than Luigi and Ices, but he's down there with him.
Okay. Because I know like Luigi and Ices specifically have a lot of trouble punishing just F smash on shield.
Mm-hmm.
But I know like Marth has no trouble as long as you get like a clean wave dash out of shield.
Marth also has that punish at the tip of his range, which is kind of unique to him. A lot of characters won't, like, even if they get that clean wave dash out of shield, right? They're like here. So then they get, the far range of something clips your leg, or they have to run to grab you. Whereas Marth can just, like, again, he can just F smash, or he could just, his run speed's really good, and he can threaten that. And that's a combination of privileges that makes him very good at punishing his own F smash too. But like that kind of like, you can barely reach him? Good. That means that your tipper F smash is great and will send them super far off. And as much as I would love to have this little dude around forever, can I move him? No, I can't move him.
I doubt it.
Well,
it's okay.
Yeah. I can always clip this later. I can recreate my beautiful art.
I just got a new profile picture. Let's go.
Hi, I play Roy because he's cool. Can I hop in the games? It's holding the sword. But
I play Roy because he's cool.
Just really big smiley. But because of that, it's kind of character specific. The risk on this, but the reward is always great. And even just sending it sometimes, like sometimes you just gotta like send. You gotta make me afraid of this green, like, death box. I have to respect this. Yeah. Especially with your pivots. Your pivots especially are very solid. So that could be this green death box, this purple death box, or this blue death box, or anything in between.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, it's only the green one if I'm assuming you're not moving, which is the easy thing for sure, but I'm also just hoping that your kill move does not have movement behind it at that point, which you can take advantage of.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I will lean back on if I feel like pressured or if I'm like in a state of I don't really know what to do. I'll just send it, see what happens.
Yeah.
But it's not really something that's part of my initial game plan. And I think it's just because I am trying to like play in a way where like I don't need it. Or like I was talking about this a little bit with Steve, where it's like I play
You don't want to be the F smash Roy?
yeah, I don't want to be the F Smasher. I don't want to just be the down B Ganon, right? I want to be able to actually like outplay my opponent and like earn my wins. But like, what does that even mean? Like, I just made that definition up myself.
Exactly.
I'm trying to unlearn that. It's just hard.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's internal.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's like, if you F smash my tail here, you earn that kill. You earn that F smash. You said, oh, I think they're going to F tilt, or I think they're going to use a tail or advance into my space. And you have a big sword. It's in the Z axis right now, but it's like a big. There we go. Oh, we got to fix that. We got to put the hand. There we go. Yeah, you got a big sword. Like, that's just a part of the character. And being thrown off stage and dying for it is also a part of the character. So, like, don't be afraid of Roy being, like, broken, busted OP. If he is, or if he will be in the future, then people will start picking him. Like, we're at 109. Way back on... Oh, we never actually hit the CSS on this recording. Damn it. But, yeah, like, if... Don't be afraid to use your character's good thing. Like... There's a middle ground between like leaning on it too heavily, like teleport aerials. Leaning on those too heavily is risky, but using them sometimes they have to think about it now. Like I didn't have to think about you F smashing until like game 3, because you just didn't do it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier when the risk is like, oh, I get clipped by like sour F tilt or like down tilt, or like maybe grab at 120. I don't care. Like if you're not in the air, your kill options are like a sweet spot only. And F smash is a move to plow through some forms of offense that if you're not using, you just don't have it. Yeah, we're both pressing the B button here. This is a game 1. Jimmy. See, like there, that's a really good example. I like what you did there. And I think F tilt was the safer option than F smash. But the reason I'm in shield here is because of F smash.
Yeah.
So like even not using it, I shielded for like 2 full seconds. And I just stalled to get some nice. I just stalled to get some shield health back.
Yeah. I don't really know what to do other than just like threaten it.
Yeah, I mean sometimes sending it. Because if I'm gonna shield, your grab especially on Mewtwo, who doesn't really have an explodable recovery, your grab follow-ups at that percent are just like, man. So the best thing you can do, let me rephrase that. The most generalized good thing you can do if your throws aren't high reward, is just like continue to pressure. Here, when you hit my shield, the pressure situation is over. Like,
yeah.
It's not even a Mewtwo specific thing, but like refreshing ledge, like possibility of ledge dash, that is not near as intense as just like this position.
Yeah, okay.
Like Roy walking up to you, because you have the kill button. You have 2 kill buttons in this case, because I'm so high percent. And the only way they just hit me is if I do something. So I don't care about getting grabbed, and most characters I imagine don't care a ton. At 140 they might start to care, but it's a general statement. They don't care about like, they're not like, oh, I need to move. Roy will grab me. Like, no, I need the shield. Roy will F smash me or F tilt me. So that, like, sometimes you do just kind of have to grab, even if your reward's low, just to get people to eventually move.
Yeah.
And you can also threaten, like, not attacking. Because, like I mentioned, once you F tilted me and I got back to ledge, pressure's gone. Like, I'm at ledge, which is stage control, but, like, I'm not in immediate risk of death unless I try to advance. And I have somewhat limited, obviously, but I have some control of movement.
Yeah.
If you just do nothing, I have to do something. I can't get back to ledge unless you hit my shield or unless I jump out of shield. My shield is dwindling, so I'll go back to that situation. My shield is on a timer. So here, I shield at 6:57:12. For about a second and a half, I decide to shield. I can't keep doing that. Like, it seems obvious, but even just my shield depleting is like a win because the timer is ticking down. I have like 4 or 5 seconds of shield before you can either almost certainly shield poke me or like break my shield outright. So I have to do something in those few seconds. So even if you just do nothing and just wait for me to do something, against some characters, like Mewtwo, his roll is good, but if you're at, let me back up a little bit to get some zones down. If you're here, right, like up air out of shield hits here, fair out of the shield, doesn't hit any further than that. Maybe even here if we're being generous. Back air hits over here. Nair hits like the shield bubble. Roll sends me over here, which is still within like reactable C-stick kill distance. Jumping is 5, like for Mewtwo at least, jumping is like 5 frames, and again, aerials don't cover that area super. Like fair's here, but I have to drift into you. Wave dash is good, but then I'm going into you when you're doing nothing, which is terrifying. So like, the defender will have to choose between all of these options, and they're character specific, of course, but the defender will have to choose between all of these options, which are all bad, for the most part. If you're closer, so if you are, let me make it this. Walking forward is good, but if you're closer, here we'll take the, that's a weird frame to stop on. If you're closer, my out of shield becomes better. It becomes like, oh, I can threaten a hitbox directly onto my opponent, which is what you were, I'm assuming, what you were trying to bait out here, because you then wave dash back. And that is good. But at some point you do also just, you don't have to hit me. Like if I am the one who's on the clock here, because if I keep shielding, I die. Either by shield break, by you poking me, by you like just hitting me while I'm shielding, right? So you don't, like, there's no rush. Especially with like Mewtwo back throw. As Roy, this is not a helpless position. If you mess up your pressure and you get back thrown, regardless of percent, you are in trouble. All right, so this is just Mewtwo stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you have no resources, even that plat, you just die.
I blame net play.
What was the net play?
I got hit by the shadow ball, and I said I blame net play.
Oh yeah. This is a habit you have that you do a lot. Is that from ledge, either ledge hop or like tournament winner double jump, you go to the air a lot. And that is risky, obviously because like you can't shield, but also you're Roy, and your downwards options are not great. That you had the right idea. You just walked forward a little too far.
Yeah, I forgot that Mewtwo's roll brings him center stage.
Yeah, also the way that he gets up is a little funky.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there. That's a really good example of what I was talking about earlier, where it's like, once I decide to shield on this platform, what are you going to do? Grab me? I don't care.
Yeah, I expected you to grab me, which is why I pulled the trigger so quickly.
That makes sense, yeah, because this is a risky position for you to be in when you're so close. You don't have control over... Let me draw. Like, the furthest you can get is here, and even then, that might be in the up air range.
Yeah.
And also, at that point, you're, like, just walking, which is slow and risky. So I get why you pulled the trigger, but at the same time, if you would... because you pulled the trigger... One, if it's a smash, I can, like, move and still pressure or punish you. 2, now I don't have to worry about it, right? Like 30 frames ago, I'm going, oh shit, I die here if I guess wrong. What do I do? And in this case, it was just wait. And hey, I get the grab anyway, right? Mm-hmm. I don't have to commit to anything. So if you throw off your timings, it messes with people like to their core. if somebody thinks you're going to like hit their shield on a short hop and you just don't, and then you don't try to tomahawk them, they just don't like. Timing is such an important part of defense, especially because you don't have your movement. Yeah. So it becomes a very easy way to screw with people when you want to try to open them up. Because Roy is a character that almost has to hit people to really open them up. You can get stage with throws. You can get like combos against fast followers with throws. You can get tech chases, but at the end of the day, you need to hit them to kill them. You have no kill confirms out of throws. I don't think, except for like maybe super fast followers. And you don't...
Against, like, most weights, I have, like, forward throw or down throw into, like, back air or, like, F smash, depending on character-specific stuff. So, on fast followers, I have, like, up throw, back air. So
gotcha.
On some characters I do, but Mewtwo is one of the characters where that's not really true because you're so light.
Yeah, this entire set, I'm just holding down when you grab me.
Yeah.
And then even if I have to tech, that becomes much harder for you. Because you don't have, even if you know how far I go, you don't have control. So I think, yeah, timing in general.
Really not ideal.
Yeah, me too. I'll take the grab every day of the week. Even at like 180, I'm probably going to just take the grab for a while.
I want to see what you would do.
That's not a bad option. I like that option a lot, but it's just...
It was very dorky.
Yeah, sometimes just weird stuff happens. I respect the ability to just sit there and not move, not
Maybe if I crouched, I could have like CCS smashed.
Probably that was sour. That was sour F smash.
Yeah, probably.
But then you also give away that you're not moving. There's a very interesting kind of like subliminal message you send. Here, this tells me you're going to move. You're not crouching. Because if you were crouching, it's more effort to move. This is the same thing in fighting games as well, or in like 2D fighters. If you're standing, that's because you need to move. You can't move while crouching. If you're crouching, you're going to press a button, or you're going to like wait for something. But here, I spot dodged twice, and then I hit a button. It was a really bad button choice for me, but the point is I attacked because I was afraid of you moving and engaging me. So if you had crouched there, I might be more it's hard to say. Ow, shit. It's hard to say I would have done something, but if you're crouched, that leads the impression that, oh, they are not going to move. So you can play little games with people like that, where it's standing still in place, or crouching and then immediately, like, long enough for them to visually recognize it, and then moving. Mm-hmm. That's a good call on the jump there. Also, the platform is very, very likely you get back in some capacity. You don't have to take that guess.
Yeah.
All right. I get the Dacus. It's also low reward because at this percent you can just ASDI down the down air, or not the down air, but you don't die. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep, that just moves. Okay, so this is Mewtwo specific, but back air is minus. You don't have a great way to hit that angle because it's like kind of under the plat a little bit. But spot dodging here.
Shield drop fair.
Oh, shield drop fair. That makes sense. Yeah, that's probably a good option.
This one was definitely a shield drop attempt. Yeah, I didn't know that back air was minus.
Yeah, I can. It's not. There's not a lot of shield stun, and I can move quickly, but I can't just do like 3 in a row uninterrupted. You don't have to, like, even without a shield drop, you don't have to do anything super fancy to interrupt it. Nice.
So, go back to that when I threw you.
Mm-hmm.
So, here you can teleport towards center stage and still be actionable, right?
Yes, because I have my jump. So for Mewtwo, he can act after teleport if he has his jump. And then the only other rule is that his hover and his double jump can't be used at the same airtime. So if you use hover, your jump is gone. If you jump, you can't hover. So if I jump or hover, I can't teleport after. I can't act after teleport afterwards.
Okay.
So here, That is a possibility of me just going to the plat. Here, I tried to...
I think you jumped. Or were you... Did you...
Oh, this was actionable, yeah. I was trying to... I think late bear? I don't quite remember. I can't see anything come out. I might have just been not pressing. But yeah, I could have pressed there.
Okay.
Because also, if I catch you not CCing there, it's very high reward. And I'm already at like 160, so the risk is... Everything has the same risk.
Yeah.
More or less.
Except for grab.
Yeah, except for grab.
Yeah.
And that becomes the same risk in like 30%. I miss it. Good air dodge.
So, when I get down tilted, I was having a lot of trouble with this, even like the friendlies we played after.
So when you get down tilted...
Like right here.
There.
I would get down tilted, and I would react too slowly to CCing the hit, and I would try to do something out of it, and I would just like get hit again, and then I'd be ASDIing and I'll get knocked down.
Yeah, you are like fully reacting to the ASDI down here. You don't need to do that. At least if you're going for grab. So here you're going for grab. If you're holding down anyway, you can just mash A. Also, assuming you're not like near a ledge or anything else that could like mess with you. Or it's not like a multi-hit with a gap. But if it's just a down tilt war, you can just be mashing A as you ASDI down for like laggier options. Not even mashing, but just pressing it once or twice during the end lag of your grab, for instance. If you miss, nothing comes out. If you CC, you get down tilt. And I don't have true CC at that point, because I'm probably still recovering from a move. And if you grab, you get pummel.
Okay.
Which at 0 is a little iffy. You probably don't want to do that
if
at 0.
I'm holding down, so if I grab you, and I am already holding down and I press A, does pummel come out, or does down throw come out?
Pummel. You can't trigger throws with buttons. Only directions.
Oh.
And you have to be you have to press the direction. So if you're just holding like up without tap jump for like 3 seconds and you grab somebody, you just grab them. You have to press. There's probably a small amount of leeway, but you have to press like after you've grabbed them.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's probably something I can just like do. Because that's a situation that comes up a lot.
Yeah. And with you had mentioned this a second ago, is that down tilt give you a lot of trouble. Here, you want to DI down tilt away, because if you DI close, I get fair. At any pretty much any percent for Roy, I think. You either get like a tech chase, which could tech trap your attempted tech from the first one, or you get forward air, which is just the combo move. This is just how it all starts. This, if I was a little better, I would have gotten the down B. And that might not be true hit stun like tumble at that point, but it'd be close. I like that press out because I was basically trying to get you to do something wrong here. Like I was trying to get you to flinch with that down tilt into nothing, and you just pressed out. There's another double jump from ledge.
Yeah, it's definitely a panic option. If I don't know what they're gonna do, I just try to do the tourney winner and then like bait them to punish it. But obviously, if you're just waiting, I'd probably die for it.
Yeah, that was a really good example of following a tech. Use the wrong smash here, but it's the same idea of like you can just run and just be like only be looking for one tech, if that makes sense. You don't have to try to react to everything. You can just decide I'm going to run at them, and then if they do this tech, they die. All right, I banned those two. We go to Fountain. I do think Fountain is your best stage here. It's definitely not FD. It's definitely not Dreamland. Probably not Delfino's. I'm pretty confident in saying. So
I don't think Roy ever wants to go to Delfino's in any situation.
Oh, it's just a bad Roy stage.
Just a bad Roy stage.
Gotcha.
I think Dreamland's better for Roy.
Wow, you must think Delfino's is super bad.
Well, other people agree too. Like the triplats are actually really beneficial.
Gotcha.
And in a lot of matchups, you're not really worried about outright killing anyway. It's a lot about edge guarding. So like the Marth matchup, Spaceys as well. Even though Spaceys are generally faster than Roy, so they can take advantage of the size. It's not a terrible option because people say, oh, well, you can't kill on Dreamland because the blast zones are too big. Well, if you're edge guarding them, it doesn't matter anyway.
Gotcha.
But like Delphinos gives people a lot more options to recover because of the walls and the platforms are just generally kind of weird.
Yeah. They're like...
So I think Dreamland's better than Delphinos for Roy.
That makes sense. I think the caveat of like on edge guards and edge guard recovery punishes is pretty important here. So for Mewtwo, I'd say that's like a strict no, because Mewtwo loves this stage.
Yeah.
For that exact reason.
I would not go to the big stages in this matchup anyway.
So those two are super out. I think FD is also super out.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd go to FD against Mewtwo, especially with your habits of like being in the air a lot in the corner. That's the highest risk position you can be in without a jump.
Yep.
I think you mentioned possibly wanting to go to Metal Cavern next time. I think FOD is a good option. I think Metal Cavern is definitely worth a try as well.
Yeah, I went to Battlefield because I just didn't know. Did we already?
No, this is game 2.
We didn't go to PS2.
So you go to FOD here.
Yeah. We go to FOD and then I win and then it's FD and then Battlefield.
Yeah.
But
so
PS2 was open, right? So I should
yeah,
have gone to PS2.
Yeah, because I banned these two forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And then this one was some stupid rule. I forget whose.
Some guy made a stupid rule.
I think PS2. I banned PS2 in the game 1 bans.
Yeah.
I remember because I think that's a good Roy stage. I'm not sure how the matchup plays out on that stage, but I know that the platforms are really good for him.
I'm sure it's better than Battlefield.
Yeah, I don't think the top plat really gives you much. I think Roy likes the size of the stage a lot for someone who has especially in the matchup head to head, much worse recovery. You want to spend your time on stage, not off stage. And when there's more stage, you're on stage more.
Generally.
Okay, let's get rid of this and go into game 2. Right, we have. All right, so that's a good. It wasn't like a perfect example. Like it wasn't like perfect frame perfect, but that's a good example of like, oh, you CC the down tilt and you just leave, and then because of that, you get a punish. It's not big. It's not the best choice, but it is a punish, and you get the momentum.
At low percent, I should just grab.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice.
And then funny FOD stuff, haha, XD.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's a knowledge check. I gotta DI that out. That's on me. And that's a good choice. I'm not saying that it's like, oh, the only reason that's good is because I made a mistake, but
no, yeah,
you gotta like force those. Yeah, this game starts off really strong for you.
Mm-hmm. I find like 2 hits into F smashes and just the small sides.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, that's another good example.
Yep.
Because, well, one, because you were true CCing too, but also just because you were immediately ready. That poke on hit becomes death at 70.
Yeah. I was like ready to react specifically to the down tilt.
And there, that's just a jump habit.
Yeah, I don't think I don't have a great option.
Oh no, I'm not saying you had a better option. I'm just you had picked the same option.
A lot.
Yeah, because especially if you back it up like a few frames, where I was when you decided to jump, what you saw on screen was like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it either becomes death or death. And because in game 1 you jumped here, you got thrown off stage and you jumped frequently, I figured, hey, let's try this one. I can always just teleport to ledge. And that's a Mewtwo thing, but...
Yeah, I think what I had to do is just, like, try to interrupt you with fair.
Yeah, that'd be a good option here.
My only real way to get out.
Because Bear, and you'll see it here, Bear hits very high, but it takes it a little bit to get up there. So yeah, I press the button right here. Yeah. And this still hits you in, like, the middle to bottom half of the move. So, like, it'll hit, like, right about up here. So you can definitely, you have the time to swing the sword. It's not going to be a super like tight like Jigglypuff Bear Wall of Pain level where you just can't actually press.
Yeah. I definitely could have pressed there. I tried to shield grab that. I just got hit.
Yeah, there's a big enough gap to shield grab. Even on shield, there's a big enough gap to shield grab if you're in range, and not like a tether character.
It's one of those things where like, there's definitely a gap, but you expect there to be like more shield stun and more recovery. But because there's like no shield stun and not a lot of recovery, the gap is like in a different spot than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, disable's the same way. On shield, it's like minus double digits. It's really bad, but there's like no shield stun. So it becomes it's a different kind of move. You need a little bit of a different knowledge. Speaking of knowledge,
go ahead. You know how much percent disable does?
1%. That or a fraction. It's literally a grounded disable. Aerial disable is like 9 to 11, somewhere around there. It's like a decent move. Okay. But on shield, that's only if you're in the air. On shield, whether I'm in the air or not, it's only like the 1% hitbox.
Oh, if I'm grounded, then it's 1%.
Yeah, it's like Trank in that sense.
Okay.
Where it's just this teeny little move. It's obviously got less startup than Trank, so you can't. It's harder to act out of on a reaction, but it's the same deal. So here's an example of like I was saying earlier, of like I'm deciding what to cover here. I'm basically giving up roll in. If you roll in, you get past me here. I'm trying to either pressure tech in place or punish roll behind. Because if you roll behind, this is the high reward zone. Yay, high reward. And if you're here, then I can start naring you, I can pressure you, and then that also enforces that same roll mix-up of like, oh, are you going to roll to the riskier location or the safer location? And that'll give me information that if you're in the high reward zone, I don't really care if you got away from me at that point because you have to fight your way out. So I've given up entirely on like this. I'm not covering this at all.
Okay.
Because especially by the time you're at 40, things will start sending you into tumble, which means then I have a little more time to do like, turn around back air chains. And then it's fountain, so you just die. So I'm thinking about the reward here. I'm not thinking about risk at all because I'm at 1, I'm at 0. 2, the most risk there is you hit me something out of shield here in the like pressure box, right? You get like fair out of shield, and I'm a 0. If you hit me out of the air, whatever. I just DI up, or I try to SDI down. Whereas if I get a grab over here, I send you off stage. We have fun off stage games. Woo! You're at 40, right?
Yeah.
And here, if I tech chase you in the middle of the stage, I get probably a grab. All the other options are like dash attack, which is fine, but it's that percent where I'm not sure if it'll tumble. And then down tilt is hard to do out of run while facing the correct way. Because Mewtwo's run like the longest in the game by a little bit. So I'm not going to like pivot down tilt because I have easier options. So you can use this same kind of strategy of, let's say they're at 50, right? And so F smash here will kill them. So if you just want to cover that, just decide to cover it. Just run up to like, let me use a different color. Run up to like here and just hold down. If they roll to the left, if they roll to the right, if they had rolled in, or if they get them in place, not if they roll to the right. If they roll to the right, you just kind of lose the space. But the reward is very high.
Yeah.
Especially...
It's the same thing as like just like being willing to send an F smash.
Yeah.
Because the reward is just astronomically higher than the risk, generally, in those situations.
Right. And this is a best of 5. This is a little bit of a longer set. So if let's say if I run up here, and you go into the danger zone, right? The high reward from Mewtwo zone, you're gonna remember that if you die from that. You don't here, but that's gonna stick out to you. It's a scary position. You DI in on down throw too, which I'll get to in a second. That's just a knowledge check. You never want to do that.
Yeah.
Even Falco has to just DI away and live with it because you just get hit also otherwise. But so if you go this way, and like it's a bad time over here on the left side of the stage, and you die, you are less likely to do that. So now staying in place or going this way is more likely to occur. I'm probably not going to cover this 2 stocks in a row. Unless I really need a comeback, which in this case I kind of do. So like, if I'm up 4 stocks to 3, I can just not cover this. I can take my stage control if you roll to the ledge, and I can try to cover the safer options. Similarly, if I'm down 2 stocks to 4, I need to get the kill. I need to go for the high reward stuff, unless I have a specific read on the player. So I think that translates really well to Roy, because you have the F smash button. You have the button that says, nope, you are dead. Above X%, depending on stage, right? So it becomes a much simpler game of tech chasing, because you don't have to combo, you don't have to like get a grab confirm, you don't have to pressure, you don't have to like guess the 50-50 edge guard. You can just press the kill button. Especially on floaties, where down smash is also a viable kill button pretty early. So you can use those to force situations to go the way that you want them to go, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I do that, you see I do that little dash up forward. And then I don't commit to the run, I just do a little dash. If you have like a F smash, if you have like your C stick F smash or down smash, that still works just as well. Okay, that's the last thing I want to talk about that situation. Good way of getting back to stage. I love your grounded movement at this set. Like, the reason this is so good also is because you don't do anything. If you just decide to do a fair or a dash attack, then, oh, you've missed. I can move. It's my turn, right? But because you just commit to the dash dance, I just wave dash shield. I go like, I don't know what he's going to do. Hopefully I mess up the spacing or the timing or something, but I kind of just get nervous. Good horizontal movement is good. I missed so many of those.
I thought I had my jump. One thing that Sosa taught me was I was just kind of like dashing back and forth because that's what you're supposed to do. Also funny Mewtwo tail, haha. But he said instead of just dash dancing because it's what you're supposed to do, just focus on like 1 dash in and 1 dash out and see how they react.
Yeah.
God, Mewtwo's so funny.
Yeah, this is jump squat. I think I mentioned it in our friendlies, but the tail gets out of the Z-axis during jump squat.
Yeah.
So you cut off his tail approximately, it's hitting this right here. It's such a sweet spot. It's not even close. God, what a bad floaty, huh? God. Slow jump squat, big hurt box. Make his tail completely intangible at all times.
God, I'm sure that would be fine. There would be no historic precedent for repercussions at all.
He needs it. He needs it, Atari. That's one phrase I love.
He needs it.
He needs it.
It's so funny.
It's like, hey, Roy needs his sword to be on fire and to deal DOT. He needs it. He needs it. But yeah, the 1 dash in, 1 dash out is a great check.
I started doing that, playing friendlies against him, and it made me like understand why people dash dance in the first place. Because it lets you feign an option and bait out a reaction. And so I started dash dancing with a purpose now, and it led to this. It's just like the one understanding of the concept just rewired my way of thinking about my movement.
Yeah.
And it felt like it made stuff like that make so much more sense.
And like, look only at your character here real quick. This is legitimately insanely threatening.
Yeah.
And now look at me. Like, I'm all the way over here shielding, and I decide I need to do something about this. And then you just bait out the option. It's very powerful because you don't commit to anything. It's like the idea of like Schrodinger's box, right? Until you press a button, I don't know what you're going to do. Once you open that box, once you press that A button or that B button or that Z button, I can deal with what's happening. But until then, the longer you stay in that flux state of like, oh, Atari's dash dancing, I'm not sure what's going to happen. The more I have to worry, the opponent has to worry about like, oh, what do I do here? What are they going to do? And that takes up energy to think about that kind of stuff for a long time. That's why there's a, like when you're driving and you and someone else get to a stop sign at the exact same time, and like a four-way stop, and both people have like different amounts of time they're willing to wait before they go. It's kind of the same thing here. So let me back out. So here, you kind of just hit me, you reset to neutral. And here, not cross through that. My clock is going, right? Like, I'm thinking, my literal shield.
Stop at the stop sign.
Right, I've stopped at the stop sign. My shield is going down. I can't shield forever. There's time. Time is passing. You seem to not be wanting to commit to anything. So I try something non-committal, and then I make a decision. Especially because I feel forced to make a decision, it's probably not the correct one. Because if you haven't done anything, it's hard to hit you for this. I have to let me back up a little bit again. I have to commit very hard to hit you on the dash back here. So if I'm here, and you're here. Yep, Yep.
That's Roy's stash.
That's Roy. He's the sword now. But I have to come all the way over here. I got to cross all this space to hit you, and that's hella scary. Mm-hmm. Like I'm at high enough percent to where if I get hit by something that's bad, I take a lot of damage. I could die. Right? I'm not at 0. I can't just auto CC in all my stuff. I'm down a stock, which I'm aware of. Not consciously, but like I'm aware that you are winning here, and I want to try to take the stock with as little interaction as possible. So what I do is something to try to throw off your approach. I figure, Atari will only do this like once or twice, and to just get me to do something. So I'll pretend to do something. Dang it, like held. I'll pretend to do something, and then this looks so weird. I'll pretend to do something and then punish his attempt, right? I thought you were going to do something on that dash-in, but instead, your little legs are all the way over here, and hell, to hit you here, I would have needed committed to F-tilt, like for the range. Mm-hmm. That dash dance keeps you so safe. It evokes so many reactions out of people because it's low commitment. When you're doing that, I have to do something. Like even stock and percent and time, everything aside, I have to stop as the slower character. It's my job to stop you from left righting, right? Like Sonic can just run in a circle for the entire match until you hit him, until you make him stop. And this is obviously a less extreme example, but the same idea of it's the slower character's job to have to stop the faster character.
Where did I lose my jump there, by the way?
I think you get to like double jump fair and forgot about it.
I don't know where my jump is.
Let's see. You have it here.
It wasn't there.
You didn't.
It's not there or there.
I think you might have just missed the button.
Maybe. I really thought I was trying to jump. In the moment, I was just like, I lost my jump, whatever. But like, looking back at it, I was like, where did my jump go? Maybe I just didn't press it. Maybe I'm just dumb.
You didn't press here. There's also no ring. YouTube's only at 30. So the ring is the easier one.
The ring never shows up. So I probably just thought I pressed the jump button, but didn't.
You pressed it a little early on the forward air.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I pressed it. I tried to time when the forward air lag was over, and then just didn't jump. That's a problem I have. I'll try to like do like full hop fair off stage to like a conversion, and then I'll just jump too late, and then I'll fall to my death. Because forward air has a lot more end lag than you'd expect.
No, I feel you. Up air is the same way too. Okay. I love that move.
How did that hit me?
Yeah, so here, this is kind of just a Mewtwo thing. You can't hit Mewtwo during this teleport.
Yeah, I shouldn't have tried to swing.
So this swing, like I can just react that you know, to this giant orange sword and be like, oh, die.
Yeah.
And that's a Mewtwo thing for sure. That's a very specialized matchup thing. But it's still good to know. Okay, yeah. I think that's a perfectly fine F smash. Because the pressure, you have to enforce it sometimes, right?
Yeah, just say I will do it. I'm not gonna wait all the time. I will just do it.
Especially because here, shield drop bear could be an issue. Not exactly right now, but as a general thing. Like, if you let me do what I want here, some characters can get away with, like, oh, shield drop, and then bear, and then, like, have pressure. Plus, it pushes me almost to the other end of the platform, so I can't punish you for this. I'm actionable probably about here. So it's like, I guess I'll just get off the plat. Good shield SDI. I'm sending so many up smashes. There's not a good reason for these. Also, on the topic of, like, until you hit my shield, I don't know what to do. Look at this sequence from my perspective, real quick. So, you hit me in this weird stagger position. As soon as you hit my shield, I roll. Because now, it's much harder to punish my roll, because you have to have been looking for it. Versus if you just don't do anything to my shield, and you're just waiting for me to do something, especially at 0, with, again, that same kind of spacing where it's like, I can't really hit you super great out of shield here. Like, maybe fair, but true CC at 0 super beats that.
Yeah.
It becomes like I gotta do something. So as soon as this shield gets touched, I'm buffering roll. Nice. Oh, that hits so high.
It does hit very high.
Oh,
I win this game somehow.
That was a really clean conversion there.
Yeah. You can actually, if you're comboing a character like Falcon or Falco, or like equally fast volley character, you can do weak up air into forward smash, and it just combos. Because weak up air sends absolutely fucking nowhere.
Doesn't even tumble at like 150, does it?
No, it doesn't. They just have to take all of the hit stun without any of the knockback.
Yeah, you use use up air from ledge to punish my recoveries in the 3rd and 4th games really well. I think that's pretty much what you have to do in this matchup. Convince me to not TP to ledge, and then if I go near it, just up air forward smash.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's similar with like tether characters too.
Yes.
Funny Mewtwo Nair.
Okay, you jumped into it. In my defense, you jumped into this button. You also air dodged a neutral on accident immediately.
Yeah, okay, that was a missed wave dash attempt. So I deserve to get grabbed here. But I try to jump out of it. The first couple hits of the Nair hit me, and then I'm dragged down by the hit stun, and then the last explosion sends me off stage.
Yeah, so because the Nair linking hits send you in. So this one tries to send you in, sends you like to the left over here. And I'm falling, so it's trying to like basically bring you with me. Is where the linking hits send, and the last hit's bigger.
That's so big.
Okay, it's a circle like right here.
Bro.
I guarantee you, it is not near as big as it looks like in this screenshot. It's probably hitting you here somewhere, like your toes, like interpolation or something. It got nerfed in P+ already. I guarantee you it's not a problem compared to everything else about Nair. But yeah, so then without a jump, it's just the funny button.
I'm dead at 6 seconds.
You jumped twice.
Yeah.
You jumped off stage and then you air dodged.
Not saying I didn't deserve it, just Mewtwo being funny Mewtwo as always.
Okay, so here's another example of the... I'm using my own shield timing as just like a reference because I understand. I can point out why I'm doing things. But this is kind of universal. So here, I missed the grab. I CC shield. And then you just wait a little bit, and then you down tilt, and I try to do something. I don't roll this time, but I do try to do something after I get hit on shield. Because the lower my shield gets, the less time I have to make a decision. And I still have to make a decision. So it becomes one of those things of... Ooh, was that SDI on the back air?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's fair. I missed the button. But yeah, the longer you wait, the worse my options become. Because I can't just shield forever.
Does disable like shift your hurt box?
Yeah, he like pulls back a little bit. The down B. It's very minor, but it is some.
I was like, get me out of there.
Yeah, you'll notice this game I'm attacking out of shield a lot more. Partially because I have a lead, and I can just kind of like do it. Also because I didn't think you would do this in this case, but like...
Yeah, it's just a, mix up.
Right, but the... whatchamacallit? Just the risk-reward was not as skewed because I'm not in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good.
You definitely could have gone on stage, but you like went out, I think, because you were worried about me hitting you.
I was going to be reverse, and then I just didn't do it.
Be reverse.
Yeah, because this will give me all that horizontal momentum to be like right above you.
That makes sense.
I was so sad. I'm like, oh, let's go off stage. This doesn't kill.
Yeah.
And if I had done it like I thought I was supposed to, I'd be like here, and that's fine. Because what are you going to do? Bear me? Like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm also only at 50, so I'm still coming back after that bear if it does happen. But then you hold ledge, which is good. You realize that, oh, they've screwed up. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Also, they were on commentary. They were talking about like something else, and they just didn't comment on that.
No.
I was so sad. I was like, guys, I did a cool thing, and then I just get nared off stage.
Did they talk about this? I guarantee you they mentioned like, Mewtwo. Yeah, this is another jump thing. So here, you jump into the nair.
I do jump into
like
there.
It's only a few characters can really do this. And Mewtwo obviously has the hover.
So I think what I have to do here is just drift back like initially, because you can nair low enough off stage to where I just can't recover anymore.
Yeah, if you're gonna come in like here, if you don't grab this ledge box, you are in an awful place.
Yeah.
Because what happens?
I have to let you like. Yeah, I have to let you like fall past me.
Right.
I also didn't think you would do the fall down nair like that again.
Oh, why not? It's free.
It's just me not. Yeah.
You're a fast faller, and your up air is super laggy. So like, what's the risk? I'm also at 0 on Mewtwo, so like, there is no situation where I die for this, or even like get significantly injured because you can't land, so you can't like do a combo.
Mm-hmm. And then me being stubborn, running to the ledge immediately as I spawn. Fredo shield hits really high. Or really far, I mean.
That was a good example of using the down tilt quickly out of CC.
Yeah.
I don't have another option there at that point. You usually, this is also kind of a Mewtwo specific thing. You don't want to stall there. You want to get to ledge ASAP.
Okay.
So that was a good example of what to do. So here, if you're going to get hit by this, you don't want to get pulled away from stage. Because you can tech off the stage, you can get to ledge so long as you're facing that way. If you get pulled to the right, that means you were on my left. So you are now facing left and can't grab without a B move. And you can SDI this to help this as well. Let me back up a little bit. So if you don't get hit by, you don't get hit by this one. There's a linking hit on this frame or this frame that you don't get hit by. So yeah, when you're saying that the move is huge, it has a lot of hitboxes on the four corners, but they're not very large.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, you can just safely get to ledge. And it's a weird situation, so you hold it a little too long, but that's a Mewtwo thing at that point.
Yeah, at that point I was just like, I'm already so far down. If he swings, if they swing, they swing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna refresh, hope for the best.
It's kind of like that risk reward idea of, I'm at 80 on my last stock as Roy on FD. They are at like 50 on their second to last as Mewtwo. You need something.
Yeah.
You just need to kill me. Like a dare spike. Because Mewtwo's recovery without his jump is not great. You can, especially for Roy, who has big punishes, unlike grounded and lag.
Yep.
Like that's a big opportunity. Okay. And look at this. Look at this teeny little spike.
Yeah.
You got grabbed there in 99 other alternate dimensions, and I'm so salty.
Did you mean a back throw?
No. So, yeah, you got back thrown, which was the wrong one, but you did get grabbed.
No, but it's like you held left.
Yeah, I know. I didn't mean to teleport, turn around after teleport. So I'm saying the back throw would have been a mistake.
Okay.
But I would have grabbed you. Unblockable grab, guaranteed. Is it this game or is it the friendlies that you were doing the up air edge guard on me for the recovery?
Probably the friendlies.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like at this point I'm like not even playing neutral that well, just because I'm like, I don't know. I get like turning fatigued really easily. So when I'm like in a set, I kind of just like stop thinking.
But yeah,
how funny Mewtwo.
Hey, this is also funny hitbox on F tilt.
But I literally stab you through.
No, see, your left hand clanked here. Okay.
I run you through with my sword.
Oh, he's a wizard. He's immune to stabs. Clearly, as you can see.
Clearly. Oh yeah, I forgot that fucking Mewtwo is immune to piercing damage.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, didn't you read his character sheet, dude?
What is 5th edition done to this game?
My backstory is I'm immune to piercing damage.
My backstory.
Clear. I mean, look at this.
I've eaten one sword every day from I was born, so I'm immune to swords now.
I've trained my vital organs. But yeah, because especially with a character that needs a little more like, not even finesse, but just like you need a little more precision with like Roy. That fatigue will kind of like get to you.
Yeah. I'll get like sloppy and neutral, get opened up more, and my punishes won't be as like clean.
See, it's less threatening than a grounded one because your range of motion's a lot less. But here, when you're dash dancing here, you could have, depending on how much momentum your character carries into a wave, into a running drop, you could go here, you could go here, you could jump up. You're a fast follower, so you can threaten that kind of like jump up space with here very quickly. And also it makes these, if you want to fall to the ground, it makes these like tomahawk options a lot faster. So when you're doing this is not a bad thing to do to dash dance on this plat, but it is a temporary position for sure. Not even because of Mewtwo there, but just because your options are limited to very few. It's like this, or like escape, or escape in some way. So this is a great position for a second or two. Escape in some way. But I think I like your option because you also have, for even more precision, you have the shield drop, where you lose your momentum, which you pick here. And at 120, that's enough to get like a knockdown, get some stage control. And because of the battlefield plat, get a tech chase. I like your option of tech chase there because it's very likely to hit the neutral B. And to get a significantly higher reward, to get the stock, you need to like go onto the plat, and at that point, that is, excuse me, that's like a lot more variable. Yeah,
I think the full hop that I did like on center stage, that was like a missed wave dash input.
Most wave dash input. Yeah, it can be rough sometimes. That's unfortunate.
What happened?
You do that thing where like someone misses a running grab, but like
Oh, yeah.
like that, and then they end up in shield grab range.
You're just right there.
Look at this noodle ass arm. My dude needs some meat on his bones.
They should buff Roy's grab range, I think.
Hold on.
He needs it.
Hold on. Oh yeah, he needs it. You're right.
Yeah, he needs it.
69%. They need it. Yeah, what was this back air right here? Because I'm not sure what you were. Were you thinking I was gonna like come down behind you?
Yeah, it was just to protect myself while landing.
I think the kind of character that Mewtwo is, his movement attributes, I'm not gonna come down behind you here. So I think this gives you lag. Even if you get the L cancel here, this gives you lag. So like we're both here. You're falling. I'm like hell. I'm still rising a little bit. The most I can do is like I'll be yellow. It's like this. Once I can start to fast fall. Whereas you can just like fast fall. You can either go to ledge or go to stage. Go to stage. Go to ledge. But you can get there first, and then you can shark me. And I'm at that. Well, aside from 69, nice. I'm at the percent where F smash becomes an issue. Where like up air to F smash kills me. So I'm not looking to like back up again a little bit. I'm not looking to like hit you out of the air here. I'm looking to make sure that I don't get hit by an up air. So I'm trying to land before you can like do up air from ledge or before you can like take to the air again. Because that's the only high reward options you have here. That at least I think. I'm sure there's ways you could get to higher reward. Nice. Again, yeah, just send it sometimes, especially on tech chases.
Yeah.
Like, there's almost always a way to get to higher reward, but sometimes it's just make them work for it, right? Like, if you show me that you can convincingly 90% of the time do like some crazy up air to down air to like one hit nair shenanigans, I'm still gonna make you do it because it's harder than like Roy F smash or something.
I think another reason I play worse, like in long sets, is because if I'm like losing, I start like getting scared about losing, and I'll stop thinking about my win condition and start thinking about how to avoid my opponent's win cons.
Right, you think about your lose conditions instead.
Yeah, I think about my lose conditions instead.
Oh, that was beautiful.
It's actually extremely easy to do.
It's still beautiful.
Flashy as hell. I call it the Stairway to Heaven. I invented it. No other Roy's done that before in their lives.
Truly. I like the Escalator to Heaven YouTube variant of that, where he's just slowly floating up with you. Like he's like the step below you on the escalator.
Yeah.
Okay, something I also want to point out, we are like 4 games into the set. You SD'd last stock trying to ledge dash. That is one of the only times I think you ledge dashed in this set, successfully or otherwise. A lot of the times... You try it?
I try a lot. It either comes out as a tourney winner, or I just do a bad one.
Gotcha. That's
or I'll like do attacks from ledge to mix it up, but a lot of my ledge dashes come out as accidental tourney winners. That's actually like how my tourney winner double jump habit formed. Was because I would be like, oh shit, I didn't meet a tourney winner, and so I'll just double jump to keep myself safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just became like a thing that I do after I turn a winner now.
Yeah, I think that it's what is it? It's you mentioned 5e earlier. Have you ever run this is relevant, I promise. My tangents are legendary. Have you ever run a game?
No. I've actually never played D&D before.
Oh, gotcha. So there's a kind of similar mentality. If you're running a game, the players don't know what's made up on the spot and what was prepared ahead of time, and it doesn't matter. Similarly, I didn't know that these tourney winners were messed up ledge dashes. So you don't have to keep yourself safe every time. necessarily because I don't know it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Like Smash is a game of perfect information because we're both staring at the same screen, but I don't know what you were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think of an example from the set. I can't really think of one, but like if you do something a little weird and it's not like a clear like like that FD game, right? It was like what was it? It was the very beginning. It was clearly just a missed wave dash. So like this is like, oh, I see what he was trying to do. And then, I don't have to think about that. But if you're just dash dancing and you shield stop sometimes, I don't know if you were trying to wave dash, if you were trying to shield stop, if you were trying to shield stop and then wave dash, like that's your business. I can't tell unless it's something again clear like this where this is not something you ever do on purpose.
Yeah.
Whereas turning winner on purpose is very common. It's good in this game. So you don't have to have that mindset of like keeping yourself safe because you don't have to fix a mistake basically. It doesn't have to be fixed because it doesn't have to be a mistake. But I guess it was the friendlies. You got those really good up air edge guards. Those were I want to reiterate, those were rad as hell edge guards. But yeah, I think the greatest successes from this set, the greatest strengths you had, were definitely Actually, let me go to FD so that way it's zoomed out and I have the stage to work with. So when you would be threatening, your little. You have your little left right. Because it's like the same thing with Marth. Because Roy is so bent over, you have to really overshoot to hit him for this.
Yeah.
So it becomes. Let's give this a go. Like these are very different poses that are not very many frames apart. So if I want to come in with, I'll be blue. Let's say I want to come in with a forward smash. I shouldn't be, but you know me. I either have to aim. Oops, that's eraser. I either aim here. So I aim here at 1, or I aim here at 2. And this is assuming that your dash dance length is the same too. You have a lot of variability with this. You can go, obviously like back forth. You can go back, like a lot further back, and then only a little bit to recover your space. So you could end up. I'm not going to draw little buddies every time. You could end up here or here. All within about 1.5 dash dances. Mm-hmm. And F smash is a bad example because that requires a lot more precision. But if I wanted to grab you, for instance, I have to decide where you are. So I'm thinking, let me do a little, my options, right? 1, 2, and these all require different that's a 3. These all require different spacings. And the best part, I will answer him soon. The best part about this is, that is for only dash dancing. If you get all the other stuff, we got, fair / short hop aerials, like going in the air and some variety. I have to possibly worry about aggression, where if let's flip this over, if you decide you want to just come at me more and like less of a non-committal dash dance and more of like forcing an option for me. I have to worry about maybe just a nothing option where you just, what's a good holding ground, a hold option.
There's like an empty pivot.
Right, empty pivot, shield stop into wave dash down, or shield stop into just like nothing. So that's another beautiful thing about these dash dances. Because it's so variable, you have me, especially at 0 when I have to be a little more precise to get my opening, you have me thinking about these things, right? You have me thinking about, like, I don't think, they might do 1, they're not going to do 2. I think they don't want to be near a ledge, so they're not going to do 4. I'm going to guess between 1 and 3, and then you pick the aggro option, and you're like over here. And I'm just wrong. At this range, it's a lot more reactable, and it's less of like, oh, I'm getting punished versus, oh, I'm getting pressured for my wrong guess. But like, it's easy for the opponents to get stuck in like only thinking about the dash dancing and not the other options that can come out of it. So that is a very strong tool that Roy has, and a lot of characters have, and it's a bitch to defend against. So one of the best defenses against it is doing it yourself, and not just the left, like not just the mindless left right, but like, oh, if we're both dash dancing, where do you like? Let's say if I'm dash dancing, where do I think I'm going to be? Where like I have to choose. I'll use a different color again. I have to choose ahead of time, like, oh, I could be here, I could be here, or I could be here. And then that changes. Does 1 easy to punish if I'm at 1? Yes. Is 4 easy to punish if I'm at 3? I can't draw 3s. No. So like it's when I'm also trying to move my own character in tricky ways, that takes energy away from me figuring out what you're doing and how to successfully hit you for it. That was a lot, and great, I can get rid of all those at the same time. My overall point being, left-right is very powerful, and the reason I came to FD to show you is because without platforms, that's what the game is. Neutral is almost, in most matchups, neutral is a lot of left-right, for fast followers especially, because you're not going to be spending the time in the air. In a Marth Ditto, neutral can be like, oh, a lot more short hops, a lot more like, oh, if I full hop, what's going to happen? But for character, the risk is higher when fast followers full hop, and the rate of success is higher. So in Dittos, they frequently do it a lot, but here, you didn't like, because of Roy's specific like combo starters and sour spots, you don't like come on top of, like, you don't like approach from on top of me very much. So you don't come in from like, let's say you're here, right? The reward for you like full hopping here, not great. Even like outside of percent even. So a lot of your mix-ups are going to be like ground level, horizontal. And even only having to think about that, it is so much to think about. So even in matchups where your character is not significantly faster, you have a lot of power to basically make the game your opponent's problem. It doesn't have to be on you to get every hit, because that's also a kind of a flawed assumption I was working with a minute ago, is that when you're doing, you have 1, spacing 3, spacing 4, spacing 2, I'm trying to hit you. I'm like, as we get closer there, let me go forward a little bit. Where you're still on the ground, so hopefully this still kind of works. So let's say here. This was all with the assumption that I'm trying to hit you. If you're trying to hit me, then I have to worry about like, oh, spacing 1? Where do I have to be to avoid that? If Atari's at spacing 1, what are the good options at spacing 1? Like, oh, am I far enough away to not have to worry about grab that much? Spacing 1, I only have to worry about strikes. Spacing 2, maybe I have to worry more about my wave dash approach. Like things like that. Especially with characters that have more minute horizontal movement than Mewtwo. Because Mewtwo's horizontal movement is a little broad stroke sometimes with his traction. So this is all a very powerful tool. I think Sosa hit the nail on the head when he says that like you can just use it to see what they do. That tells you a lot about kind of like who they are as a player. How do they respond to aggression? If you're using it defensively to like basically make it difficult to understand where you'll be, how do they respond to, confusing defensive movement? If you're using it to feint, how do they respond to feints? How do they respond to, if they shield, how do they respond to you just doing nothing to their shield? How do they respond to it when they're at high percent? In a riskier position on the stage, maybe. So there's a lot of avenues you can attack people from that don't matter about the game. Like, they just don't. None of that is dependent on, Like the closest thing to that is like, oh, I don't care about getting grabbed almost ever because I'm Mewtwo Roy, right? But that's an extreme example. Like most characters, grab, even if it's not an amazing throw, grab will be pretty solid reward. So you have to worry about, oh, not only that, how do I hit them? Do I worry about like strike throw on defense? Are they going to grab me? Are they going to hit me? What's the risk on that? Like if you're it can make you look like you're the one engaging, even if you're doing nothing but left right. Mm-hmm. Okay, I have rambled for long.
Yeah, you keep saying left right, and it just reminds me. On topic yet completely irrelevant. There is a channel in the Roy Discord that's called Dash Dancing.
Yeah.
It's under the game and theory section. It has completely devolved into somebody posting the word left and then someone different posting the word right, and the cycle just has been going for months, and I hate it.
Somebody post down. That's how you break the cycle. Just say shield.
Sometimes it'll turn into like a what do you call it? A turn-based tech chase game, and then eventually someone will get out of the situation and then go back to left righting.
Okay, that's kind of fun.
But it was like actual discussion about how to be better at dash dancing and stuff like that. But now it's just mindless left righting.
Hey, mindless left right. Hold on. I just showed you how much brain power it takes to left right. So the next time that you just like left right.
Is mindless left righting.
I know. I'm pretending to stick up for like somebody posting left in the Discord channel twice a week. But yeah, I know that was a lot.
Yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway is use and abuse the left right, especially because Roy's reward on vertical movement without plats isn't great, unless you have like a specific like falling up air, like a specific thing you want to do. Generally, like vertical threat isn't great. His drift isn't great without run momentum. So just kind of playing that left right game gives you a lot of breathing room too. So if you're doing left right, I'm thinking, what do I do? Yeah. Based on
you're sitting there thinking, and I'm sitting here left righting.
Yeah, there should be purpose behind it, but if you just want to do it sometimes rather than doing nothing, it has, like I was saying with standing versus crouching, it has different effects. If I see you standing in pure neutral over here, I'm thinking, this dumbass isn't going to attack me at all. He's just standing there. And I'm feeling like more, I'm not afraid of an attack. Versus if you're like, left righting, thinking, oh, the range is big. How do I navigate this threat? Even if you're not thinking anything different, you are putting on a display. Because the only information the opponent has access to is what's on the screen and what's in their own heads. And they can try to figure out what you're thinking over here, but that's a guess. It's an educated guess based on, like, oh, they rolled to ledge last time, but I didn't kill them, so they're probably, let's see if they'll do it again. Times 2. And then over here you can just be thinking, like, what is this thing? Like, what is this Mewtwo creature? What do I do against this? Like, it's just a guess. Okay, wait, I have a button for this. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I think the times when I think about dash dancing, I'm able to use it well, but I don't default to it a lot. Like, I think at some points during the set, I just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And it's because it's not, like, the default in my head yet, because I am not used to dash dancing with purpose yet. And so that's the habit that I will have to form, I think.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing as the, like, you don't want to be the F smash dude. There are some people who just will just left right because that's what they do. They don't think about what they're doing. And I know it might be tempting to be careful of I don't want to just be the left right person. I don't want to be in the dash dancing channel just typing left every week. But at the same time, it is a really good tool to keep people honest, and in the case of dash dancing, it's just really good because it's not even keeping me honest. It is Like, you could be doing this at complete neutral, and I am immediately thinking, what do I do to counteract this? You are taking no risks by doing this. Like at this spacing, for instance. Where, like, you feasibly could get about here before I could react and shield or something. But that means I can't, like, hit you out of this. Unless I'm waiting for it. And if I'm waiting for it, I'm looking for some kind of trigger condition. Like, oh, I CC something, F smash. Or like, for Roy, for instance. Or I CC something, down tilt. Or, oh, they ran forward, I'm going to dash attack. Or I'm going to jump. Or, I'm going to, like, they did A, so I'm going to do B. And if I'm doing that, I'm not playing the game at 100%. I'm giving up, let's say you're doing left, right. I'm thinking, okay, once they cross this invisible line in the middle, I'm going to F tilt, right? What if you short hop? What if you get up to the line and then go this way? Like, I'm waiting for the line. I'm not actively challenging you. And the best players, they will do this, and then they will immediately stop doing it if it doesn't happen. So let me get the cleaner line. So I'll get the line. Let's say you get right up here, and then you double back. They will just delete that line. Because the risk of that hole being observed and abused is very high. Once you get to the point where players will just start killing each other off of like 1.5 openings. Especially in fast follower matchups. Like floaty matchups are very different. They're also usually much worse at like dash dancing because they're slower. Their options are less explosive. But with the faster characters, you need to like keep up. So if you do this and then you kind of fake it out, and I've deleted my little mental line, but you think it's still there, you're gonna go get me. Maybe I'm just playing normal now. And I go, oh, let me just press the button, or like, let me go over here. I haven't committed to this line anymore. So that maybe if this is something you were looking for, that can throw you off, and vice versa. And it's just this beautiful, beautiful Ouroboros eating its own tail, where at some point F smash and neutral becomes viable again.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, again, I apologize for the, as Colby puts it, intensely thorough discussion on one thing. I know that.
Yeah. I'm trying to take it all in. It's
right.
Processing.
I think that's probably going to be the big thing I think you should work on. I think the best way to work on your like set stamina is to just play more sets, and it is to be able to, especially against characters you're more familiar with, it'll come more naturally, to be able to kind of like put, like when I was listing everything over here, oh, that's only dash dance, blah, 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 blah. You can't do that 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's easier to just be like, oh, this is their dash dancing spacing, and then just doing something, because you can't, both speed-wise and stamina-wise, you can't run this whole list. You don't have the time in the match, it's too fast. You don't have the energy in your brain. It's too much. Like, you probably can't do that for one game consistently, let alone 2 or 3 or 5 or 8 sets in a long tournament.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, your autopilot needs to be able to just, like, play the game for a little bit. Like, if you just autopilot left, right a little bit, that can free up, maybe your dash dancing isn't, like, super tricky. It's, like, 80%. But if that 80% is enough, then, you don't have to, like, use 100% of your brain. You don't have to use everything you have to confuse and confound and confuddle and move and stuff. You can either give that, you have that 20%, right? So maybe that can be, like, 20% just resting. Or that could be 10 and 10. Like, on, like, I think they're going to jump and try to nair me. So I'm going to, like, try to bait that out. And if they don't jump, I'm going to do this. And, like, the further you divide it, the harder it gets. So just, you can't play at 100% the entire time. It sounds kind of weird, but you are physically incapable of playing at your best for an entire tournament.
Yeah.
Like, even if you win every set, too much brain power. Even if you win every set, your round 1, you probably, if you're playing at your best in like grand finals, you probably autopiloted a lot, and that's okay. Like Sosa's really good at this, where he'll just his round 1, his round 2, as far as he can take it, he'll just play Wario. He's just playing Wario. He's it's not a form of disrespect, but it's just he is conserving his energy for the players that he needs it against.
Yeah.
So like when Sosa plays, a Jimmy Shoes 2x2 in round 1 pools of like a 500-man tournament, he's just like, whatever. I'm just gonna like play Wario. And until they punish my side B on shield, until they punish me going for bite, I'm just going to do the dumb, easy stuff that I've been doing for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So that's another good place to be like, oh, like, and this kind of applies when you're playing somebody who has a hole in their game plan, or is just kind of, you can like better player, but like for a Roy equivalent, oh, if they're like not respecting F smash, I can just send it. That's definitely the range of F smash, yep.
I think I definitely have the problem of I was talking to Arsenals about this a long time ago, but like noob killing, like having more trouble against like lower level players than you feel like you should.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just because I respect them too much and I don't just send it. That could also help with that.
You're using more energy than they are. In like the like, what are they gonna do? And they're just like, I like Mario. Fireball's a good trick. I'll try that. And you're just like, oh, how do they know I wasn't going to cover fence? Like, no, they just threw a fireball. Even the best players in the world, sometimes they just throw fireballs, or they just they just kind of like teleport fair, or they do especially character specific stuff. It's a very easy fallback. Sometimes they just send it. Like risk reward be damned. Sometimes you just don't look at this and you just go like sword.
Yeah, my side B4 on shield was definitely just maybe this will work.
Yeah, because you can't live your life being like, what is like every button you press being like, what is the exact risk reward of this? Oh no, because you can't think that fast, and you can't run like that for more than a few minutes at a time tops. I don't think you can run like that for more than like 30 seconds at a time, frankly, because if nothing else, you have downtime for like combos, but regardless, you have a limited amount of energy per set, and you have a limited amount of energy per tournament. You got to spend that where you need to spend it. And if you don't need to spend it, like if I'm playing, like again, Mewtwo's a really easy example. If I'm playing a round 1 like melee player who's entering this because they think PM is cool, they don't even know how to spell Mewtwo, right? I'm not gonna give a shit. Catch me whooping, right? Like whoop fair. I'll explain everything to them afterwards, but like I don't have to think about shit. Just whoop fair. Down B kills? Question mark.
Down B kills.
Like wait, I was turned away. Why did down B? Right. It's like wait, I was turned around. It's like I'll tell you in 3 minutes when this set's over. Like I'll show you everything on this character, but for now I don't got to think about shit. I don't have to expend any energy in the match. And those are extreme examples for like people that don't really play the game or don't really know what your character does, or like round 1's kind of like, oh, they kind of just like enter. And that is an extreme example because I want to show the principle and how to use that in minor situations. So like, let's say if I'm recovering, sometimes I just go to ledge until I die against players that don't seem to be confident. I'll just go to ledge, and then the first time that they go to ledge, I'll be like, okay, now I have to play the game. I didn't have to play the game recovering until then. I just autopilot to ledge. And now they've shown me that they can beat this option, or they can threaten the option. Now I'll think about it when recovering. But that's energy that I save every time I get knocked off stage, right? I don't have to be like, oh, which of my 360 billion angles should I choose, or should I go to ledge? Like, no, I'd go to ledge. Like, especially with Mewtwo's slow fall speed, you get like 3 seconds of like, whoop. Okay, that was a nice little break. Maybe I can refresh ledge 2 or 3 times, just chill. Like you can create these rest points for yourself after you die, even if you don't have anything you want to think about. If you just want like get a little energy, just like you don't have to go hard for like 5 minutes straight. You can chill. You can just like try to see what they're doing. You can just we have 8 minutes. A lot of the times you can just choose to do nothing. And they don't know that you're choosing to do nothing, so they still have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're running if you're really running the head-to-head on how much energy you're expending, if I'm thinking like, oh, they're in shield, what are they going to do? Are they going to dash dance? You're just like, oh, I'm player 1. I like the red shield with this color. Like, it's not an equivalent thing. All right, I absolutely know I've talked for too long about like mental RAM and shit.
Yeah. But no, this is actually stuff that I really want to hear about though. So this is something that I think I need to improve on, and it's also because I haven't been playing. Well, like I said, I've been playing Melee for like years before I started playing PM, but that was definitely a very I like pressing buttons as Fox, and I like being competitive. And now I'm like actually learning how to be a competitor.
Yeah.
And so I haven't been competing in that mindset for a very long.
You're not used to using that much energy. You're not used to going that far past. Oh, up smash is a good move. Rolling's a good trick. I'll try that.
Yeah. Because I started playing PM competitively in like the tail end of 2019, and like very recently, well, I guess like around the time when quarantine started was when I like started actually putting time in and getting good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been like a year and a half, change, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm still like a relatively new player and don't have a lot of stamina built up. So I'm trying to figure out how to build it.
Yeah.
Because this happens a lot when I play. Well, like the first game or two, I feel like I'm hot. I feel like I'm reacting. I feel like I have my decision trees planned out. But then later on in the set, I'm just going off one part autopilot, one part instinct, one part just muscle memory, and it's just not nearly as clean.
Yep. And it's that you're aware of it is a big step towards like being able to change it, because if you aren't aware of something, you can't consciously change it. And a lot of this isn't a conscious process in the first place. The fatigue and the habits, but you can basically try to form conscious habits that will stick when you're not thinking about it. So like, it's like, eventually I don't have to think about how to teleport to ledge. I don't have to remind myself, oh yeah, I can't hold down. I don't have to think about, you have Sethlon who doesn't have to think about every single input of the ledge dash.
Yeah, I think I'm still at the point where I need to like get stuff like ledge dashing and wave dashing. So okay, the thing about wave dashing is I absolutely know how to do it. I've been doing it for literally years, but like I haven't practiced it in a while because I was like, oh, I have it now. So now I just miss wave dashes, and I'm like, what the fuck?
But that's one of those points that'll break with fatigue and when you're thinking about a lot of other stuff first.
Yeah, I think I'm better at dagging than I am at wave dashing. If that's at all humorous.
Me too, buddy. It's a 2-frame window in P+ too, so it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think
it's like very very rarely will I like actually miss a wave dash like this, or
yeah.
I do at this point in the video. But it still happens where I'll do a full hop on accident because I pressed the trigger too soon.
Yeah.
So I'm still thinking about like Sosa was saying this too. I'm still trying to control my character as opposed to worrying about what the other character is doing.
Yeah, and that's also a big leap forward in the kind of like energy issue, is that if you don't have to think about what you're doing here, 99% of the movement and stuff you're doing is not going to physically make you tired because this is a video game. I say 99% only as a catch-all in case I'm not thinking of something right now, but like I can't think of anything long-term that you would be doing like in neutral.
If you're like playing a technical character, like sometimes you can have like hand pain or whatever.
I guess if you're like short hop double lasering for like 30 seconds maybe, but I'm saying like neutral.
Yeah.
So I guess like wolf lasers consistently for like 20, 30 seconds. This is something you can just do, and then you can look over here.
Mm-hmm.
because the camera also helps you with your peripheral on how close you are. So here, your character being small, or their character specifically being small, means that, we're far away. Versus, I don't think I can like pick it up and control it, but versus like if the character is like this big, if you need the specifics, you can glance over to your character, but otherwise you can be like, oh, we're close. And at that point, you're very close to the character, obviously, so you can see your character more easily. You don't have to go as far. Your eyes don't have to move. You don't have to find your character and then find theirs on the way back. It'd be more like this, where it's like you're both just over here. That's the tail. It goes this far. And then this is the hurt box.
That sounds about right.
Just, this is all intangible. But, I like to separate it sometimes for, like, conscious and unconscious play in the sense of you don't have to think about dash dancing. You might have to think about why, but you don't have to physically think about pressing left and right. That is, your hand is pressing left and right. You are thinking about when to do it and why. So, especially on simpler stages like FD or like PS2, you don't have to worry about triplats, or like maybe Metal Cavern if the platform is high and you're like, neither character is going to use it at 0 and neutral or something. You can just kind of boil it down to this: your hands will be here, and then your head will be here. Whether that's your eyes, your brain, your thought processes, however you want to think about it. Your hands can kind of just like, your hands can do their thing, do their left, right, do their wave dashes, do their like shield stops. They can press buttons and they can do simple commands. And then your head can be, okay, what are they going to do? And by extension, what are we going to tell our hands to do? Because the hands can, anything simple enough, the hands that you practice, the hands will just do it. That's the beautiful part about hands. They don't have to double check with you. Like, are you sure we should do that? Like, no, you just tell them what you want them to do. Easy peasy. For easy stuff, at least. Like, again, getting 20 wolf lasers in a row, super low to the ground. That's a difficult thing to do. That's something you might have to think a little bit about. So, like, we'll give you, be like a little bit. But for the majority of movements and the majority of techniques in neutral, it's just, you're doing your stuff, and then everything else, the rest of the stage, the positioning, the time, the stocks. I don't know why I was trying to avoid the YouTube bar there. I can draw on that, no problem.
Yeah.
That is all what you're looking at, what you're thinking about, and that's super tiring. So that's why you need to make sure your hands can do as much of this as possible. Mm-hmm. And another thing that is really, really cool, but kind of sucks until you get used to it, in some matchups, your hands might have to do more. Your hands might have to do less. You might not be able to do your default stuff. You might have to be thinking, before I tell my hands what to do, I have to think about what they're going to do. Maybe it's Sonic. Maybe they're, you're in their threat zone. And then you choose from the list of, do you do horizontal movement? Do you do vertical movement? Do you hold, etc.? Rather than just kind of like defaulting. That's why faster characters are really hard to play against. Both because literally you can't react to them from further away, but also like you have to think about stuff more ahead of time because their threat zone, instead of being like blue to blue, it's yellow to yellow. Where it's, at this spacing, I have to think ahead of time, as opposed to, again, extreme example, at this blue spacing, I have to start thinking ahead of time. So for more of the match, and for more variability, because anything between this yellow, they could do a lot of stuff. The blue, they don't have a ton of options. You have to think about, what could they do with this amount of space? They could jump forward air. They could jump like not fast fall something. They could tomahawk into something. They could run up in something. They could run up wave dash back to bait something. Versus blue, it's like, if it's Ganon, like he's gonna down B, dash attack, or jump at me. Like, and those are all slow enough that I can usually see them coming, or they're telegraphed enough to where he doesn't have many options. So it's you can pick up on a player habit more easily. Or nothing else, you can just guess right more frequently. So a lot of the times you just guess right and it's like, okay, cool. I had nothing to go off of, but neat. So that's basically as you I'm gonna do a fancy thing. As you get more familiar with the matchup, you learn a little bit more about the space and you think, oh, I can, it's not from there to there. It's like difficult, it's unreactable. Now I'm practicing it's from here to here. And that's not a ton different, but it's a little better. Or maybe, it's just in your hands now to where, oh, if they jump, I have this up tilt ready. I can just do my thing. I can run my command if X then B, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to have it queued up constantly. And some stuff you just can't do automatically. Like, you can't always just CC into F smash automatically. Both, like, literally, and both because you'll get hit for it. People will start hitting you in CC and then just shielding. Like, it'll become a bad habit that they'll abuse.
Yeah.
But the good news is, that means that now they have, instead of just being able to automatically do shit, now they have to think about this bullshit, right? They think, oh, if they're going to do this, if Atari's going to just CC F smash, then I should do this. And they have to come to this conclusion. And then, if it's in their hands, it's a lot harder to stop doing it. Because they're not thinking about it, right? So that's another reason I mentioned earlier that... Let me clear the screen real quick. That if you get thrown off stage and die, that's in your head. You are thinking about it. You are seeing it. You are concerned about it. If you get thrown off stage and I just kind of like go back here, you just gotta go back to stage. That is not on your mind because it was not an issue. Or even if you jump out or like sneak back to ledge, you are less likely to play around it because it did not actively kill you. And vice versa, if they tech in and die for it, or if they tech, if they tech away to ledge and get F smash for it and die at like an early percent, at that percent next time they probably, they might do something else. They might think, oh, I'll tech in place. Or I'll roll in. That way, even if I get hit, I don't die. And that gives you, obviously, like conditioning. You get into the world of conditioning, which is your head taking advantage of their hands.
Yeah.
And then your head taking advantage of their head. Where you're thinking, oh, I bet you think I know that you died for this last time, but you're going to do it anyway, and now I'm going to kill you for it again. And then the third time, you're definitely not going to change, right? And then you get into that whole fun game of, wine in front of me was not poison, which you clearly know, so you chose the wine in front of you, etc.
I'm trying to take it all in.
Yeah.
A lot of information.
I think that's about all I want to cover. Because I've kind of backloaded this one with a lot of more broad concepts as opposed to specific ones from the match.
Yeah. Which I think it's fine. I think there wasn't a ton with the match itself. It's just a lot of like general steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's like what I need.
Right. So like get more familiar with that same kind of way that you would practice a ledge dash to make sure you can just do it without looking at the ledge. Get more familiar with your dash dance length, mix up your dash dance timings. And those aren't things that are actively difficult to do, but if you only ever practice one timing or one length, that's all you'll ever do when you get nervous. When your hands are in charge, they will continue to do what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Whether that's, when you panic, you F smash. Or that's, I shield grab a lot when I'm at 0%, or things like that.
I think when I'm nervous, I try to ledge dash more. I don't know why. That's where my brain defaults.
It might be like a safety thing, because ledge dash is invulnerable.
I want to be invincible and actionable.
That's usually a good thing to want to be.
Yeah. I wish I could both be intangible and actionable the entire game.
Yeah, you'd win. You'd win every game. Okay, I guess probably, but you should win. At that point, you should win every game. This shouldn't be a contest anymore. You're playing like Wario Man over here. Wait, no, Wario Man's not intangible in the PM version, but like the Final Smash version where he's physically not able to be hit. Yeah. Playing Super Sonic versus Wario Man.
Here's the Landmaster.
Landmaster can die though.
Yeah, if you hit the side or bottom platforms.
Yeah, but you can also run out of jet fuel and just not be able to make it back if you're trying to be cheeky. But yeah, I think the biggest takeaways are get comfy, both with ledge dashes and with dash dancing and that kind of movement that you can do, like in your hands, not in your head. Then, kind of once you have that down a little bit, just play with it. Like when you're playing against people, see what someone does if you just dash dance in front of their shield, like out of shield grab range, but you're like still threatening. Or if you're standing in front of their shield, like just literally just observe. Just do nothing and see what people do, because they have to do something. And that'll give you a really good tell on, either the player or the character is pushing them towards this option. So maybe Jasper, maybe they like rolling. That's a Mewtwo and a player thing, right? Maybe Frozen, maybe she doesn't like rolling. Maybe she does Nair out of shield, or like take back a turn kind of thing, or like an aggressive option. And those are both examples of good options out of shield, but it's personal preference. And it's also, again, what's in our hands. Hover Nair out of shield is not in my hands. And at this point, it probably won't ever be. So that's not something I do, especially in pressure situations. I do what I know. I do wave dashing, I do rolling, I do normal jump out of shield. Like, especially in tournaments, there are situations where you can try new stuff, but that's if it's unlikely to work the way you want it to the first time. And more than likely, people are going to fall back on what's gotten them to that point, for better or worse. Like, if all I have to do to make it to round 3 is just use the C-stick as Peach, in round 3, when I'm losing, my hands are going to press down on the C-stick, right? Because that is what I have associated with good in my head. C-stick down. Good thing happens on screen. It's literally just like, I press the button, I get a treat, right? Like I'm in a cage. I'm a baboon in the cage.
Dude, I was playing against a newer DFW player earlier today, just net play friendlies, and they have a really bad CC habit, and I wanted to play Peach because I think Peach is cool. And so I would just hit their shield once and just down smash, and it was 70% every time, and just the dopamine was just flowing.
Yep. That's also the fastest way. That's a very extreme example. That's the fastest way to get out of that habit. Super die for it, right? Like, if you have a bad habit of CCing a lot of stuff, ask your friend to play Peach.
Just get owned for it.
Yeah, seriously. Because that'll break that connection.
That's something that people used to tell me before. Like, hey, I'm trying to stop myself from doing this. So every time I do it, like, point it out. Or, like, kill me for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I still remember when I played Lunchables, I believe it was the first time we played it, like, No Funnel... it was Farmer's Fight. Two or three, I think. This was like 5 years ago now. And you did it to me in the set too, but I was aware of it at least earlier. He was at 0, and I was trying to hit him with fair, and I realized too late that he was just true crouching, and he just killed me off the top of down smash immediately, like CC down smash.
Yeah.
So now, even if I'm still doing it, I'm at least acknowledging it earlier. And hell, that was years ago. It's still in my brain. I don't remember what I had for breakfast 3 days ago. I remember how I died to Lunchables 3 years ago. Because up until that point...
How much time you have left, by the way? I know we've been going for a while.
Yeah. I think this will be a good place to call it.
Okay, yeah.
But up until that point, that was in my hands because it was working. And then it stopped working very abruptly. And now that's in my hands. If nothing else, awareness that it's not working and that I shouldn't do it. Whew. Okay. Thank you for tolerating my rambles, my scrolls.
No, yeah. I definitely have stuff to go back and listen to again.
Sick. And if you ever want any clarification, you just want to talk about the game or like just talk in general, always hit me up. I know that I can be a little obtuse in the way that I explain things sometimes. especially with analogies. Man, I really need to stop using analogies just across the board. But shit, where's the wood chip on my desk? But yeah, thank you for booking, and
Yeah, for sure.
Anybody in the chat, my Metafy link is there and down below. Book me. I think I'm pretty good at this. I think we have fun.
I had fun at least.
Yeah, I got to draw the world's most horrendous dash dancing sortie.
I definitely need to go back and screenshot that character holding the sword by the blade. I actually want to take that. It's so funny.
Like still against the stage background, like not even transparent, just fully.
Oh, yeah, just full on screen cap on the Smash Bros. Sakura stage.
God, when you send me that, once you do that, I really want to send that to another friend of mine.
I might make a tweet about it.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Viral marketing in effect. Let's go.
Let's go.
You're like, yo, my session with Jasper went great. Look at their art.
I learned so much about Super Smash Brothers. It's just that's the caption for just the image.
Have you seen Turnip Ivy?
No.
Oh my god, how do I get an image off a Discord server icon?
If you click on it, it like enlarges it, right?
It does not.
Oh, is it an emote?
No, it's not an emote or an emoji. It's the icon for the server.
Oh, I don't know how to get those at all.
I can ask Ryan. He'll probably have it. But
okay, yeah.
It's Soph was like drawing Ivysaur or something, and he just drew a turnip with a sad face. I think it was Soph or Machiavelli. Actually, I think it was Machiavelli, because this is way older than like 2018. It's been like this for like as long as I've been in this server. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and call a stream here. Yeah, like I said, chat was not on screen. I was not reading chat, so I'm almost kind of curious to see if anybody was watching, let alone what was in chat. Yeah. So thank you again, Atari. And first off, catch y'all later on Twitch. Hit me up on Twitter, Discord, etc. My Twitter's below. My Discord is... I should put my Discord down there, actually. Or Metafy. I do have a Discord, yeah.
You have a Discord server? What the fuck?
No, I have a Discord, like an account.
Oh, I thought you meant like a server.
No. I mean, I have one for like some of my other friends that I just like will play random games with, but not for like a Smash thing.
Okay.
But yeah. So thank you all for watching, now or in the future. Goodbye.